Good morning, everyone. My name is Kyle Dahlman. I work at the Hamilton County Board of Elections. Normally, I'd be standing in front of you. I'd be in your classroom with my colleague, Joe, and we'd be there to talk to you all about voting, the mechanics of it, and getting you guys involved in the democratic process. Now, because of the COVID pandemic and the situation, we decided it'd be a better idea to give your teachers a virtual presentation that they could play in class for all of you. We're here today to basically talk about what voting is in Hamilton County and hopefully to get you all involved in a program that we call Youth at the Booth. First thing I want to talk about is what voting looks like in Hamilton County. You're all familiar with what voting is. You know that we've got a big election coming up in November here for the president, among other races. But what does that actually look like in Hamilton County? What are the specifics of voting here? How does that all work? We've got a quick video that I'll play for you all to explain that. So we're going to be jumping back and forth kind of between my face, a few others, and these videos and presentations. So give me one quick second. We're going to jump over to our PowerPoint, play that video that explains what voting looks like here in Hamilton County.
Today, we will be going over how to vote on Election Day in Hamilton County. This video will also include procedures the Board of Elections is taking in light of the COVID pandemic, both for voters and for poll workers. A voter reports to the polling location associated with their address. This can be found on the new Hamilton County Board of Elections website, votehamiltoncounty.ohio.gov. The voter arrives between 6:30 a.m. and 7:30 p.m. and brings with them an acceptable form of identification. He or she finds the table marked as check-in and then follows the instructions given to them by one of Hamilton County's poll workers. This poll worker will be equipped with PPE, including a mask, a face shield, and gloves. That poll worker confirms the voter's address and asks for the voter's signature on the electronic poll book. The voter will sign using their own stylus or one that the board provides, and then touch done. The poll worker compares the signatures, making sure that they match, and touches select ballot. The poll worker then scans a barcode on the ballot and removes it. This ensures the voter gets the correct ballot and only votes once. After removing the stub and handing the ballot to the voter, the poll worker will then thoroughly sanitize their station, using Sani-Cloth wipes for the e-poll book and the stylus. They will do this after every voter approaches their station. The voter takes his or her ballot to a voting booth and follows the instructions printed on the ballot. The poll worker will then thoroughly sanitize the voting booth, including the voting surface, the pen and attached chain, and any glue sticks that might be in the booth. The completed ballot is carried by the voter to one of the V-Scan machines, and the paper is laid flat by the flashing green arrows. The voter feeds the ballot into the V-Scan, and once the machine shows the American flag and gives a ding, the ballot has been cast. However, if the ballot comes back out of the V-Scan, the voter should read the machine screen to understand what went wrong and to make changes if the voter chooses. They can also cast the ballot as is. This should always be the screen you see before walking away. And don't forget to grab your sticker on the way out.
All right, so pretty straightforward, right? We have over 2,500 people that perform that role of poll worker. That poll worker in that video you guys just saw was the person in the pink shirt. And those poll workers work at over 300 polling locations all around Hamilton County. Those can be gyms, churches, community centers. Probably your school is actually a polling location. The polling locations are staffed by paid volunteers. Those poll workers, like I said, we've got over 2,500 of them. And they're there to basically make sure that every voter is in the right location and gets the right ballot. They do that using the electronic poll books. You all saw what that looked like on the video. These are essentially iPad minis loaded with a ton of information. One of the reasons we're here today is because all of you are much more familiar with this technology than some of our poll workers. You've got Apple products in your pocket, or you've used iPads throughout high school, so you've already got kind of a leg up on understanding how these machines work. I'm going to jump back over to the PowerPoint here. We'll talk about a few more things. All of those poll workers are assigned to polling locations with equal representation between the Democrats and the Republicans. You go to a training class. Those happen here at the Board of Elections and last between 3.5 and 4 hours. You go to a Monday night setup meeting the night before Election Day. That's at 7 p.m. and that lasts for about an hour. And you work Election Day. Here's where I'm going to lose a lot of you guys, starting at 5:30 a.m. It's a really early start and it's a long day, but we're here to serve the voters of Hamilton County, and you're earning money while doing it and community service hours. So it's pretty much a win-win. Last thing I want to mention on this page is that there is a voting location manager who runs those polling locations. Now that's not going to be you. The voting location manager is someone that has worked for years and years, and they know these procedures backwards and forwards. So they're kind of experts with these things. All right, moving along here. Youth at the Booth is a program that was started up in Columbus in 2008 that gets 17 and 18-year-old high school seniors to work the polls on Election Day. We implemented those electronic poll books, those iPads, in 2015, and since then we have had great success with this program. About 300 high school seniors work the polls every fall. You guys are great with this electronics, you know what's going on, and that's kind of why we need you out here. These are a couple pictures of the machines that we'll use on Election Day. You already know what the electronic poll book is. You saw that in the video. In the middle here is the V-Scan. The V-Scan is where voters take their ballots, put it into the machine, and it records that vote. That's really, really important. That's how we get the results on election night. The last machine over here is the Access Writer. Access Writer we won't talk about too much today. You will talk about it a lot more in your training. But essentially, that is a machine for voters with disabilities to vote independently. Let's say they're blind or deaf or don't have the use of their hands. The Access Writer lets them vote independently without any other help. So it's a pretty nice machine. So why should you want to do this? Why am I here to talk to you about voting and all the rest of it? Well, there's a really big one. You're going to earn $181.50. This is not a pro bono position. We're not asking you to do this for free. We will cut you a check with that amount, $181.50. We'll mail it to whatever address you put on your application, and that is your money to spend however you choose. For MIMO, the more important thing is that you get involved in the democratic process. We're the youngest generation in this country. We're going to be living the longest under these laws and these leaders. We should start getting a little more invested and involved in who those people in positions of power are. Furthermore, this is a great opportunity to be in your neighborhood, help your community out. Like I said, we've got over 300 polling locations all around Hamilton County. If this is something you decide you want to do, we will put you in a polling location close to where you live. Hopefully that way, you'll see your neighbors walk in to vote. See your grandma or your cousin or someone like that come in, and it's a great opportunity for them to see you in a professional setting. That leads to this being a networking opportunity. I'm sure you guys have heard that term networking before, and maybe you've talked about it in class a little bit. The concept is basically that the people that you meet can help you out later down the line. So let's say you've got someone coming into your polling location, you help them out, you give them their ballot, they remember your name. That might lead to a job interview down the road. Pretty great. This is also 17 hours of community service experience. If you do the training, you do the Monday night meeting, and you work election day, we'll pay you and we'll give you community service hours, 17 of them. Finally, this looks excellent on resumes, college applications, really you name it. I don't really care what you're planning on doing after high school. But whatever it is, this is an excellent line to have on that because it's showing that job recruiter, it's showing that college that at your age, we have already entrusted you with the election, with our election procedures and laws. That's a pretty heady responsibility, right? I'm going to jump back over to our PowerPoint here. Give me one quick moment because we need to talk about the COVID situation. Now, obviously, this is in the news. This is kind of affecting all of our lives on a daily basis, and we want you to know that the Board of Elections is taking it very seriously. You saw in the video that our poll worker in the pink shirt had personal protective equipment. He had a mask, he had a face shield, he had gloves on. We're also going to have spots on the floor that mark that safe social distance. We're going to have door stops holding all the internal doors open so people don't have to be pushing door handles. And finally, one of the poll workers at the time will be assigned as the sanitation tech. Now that's someone who's going to go around, wipe down the surfaces like you saw in the video, and that's a position that will rotate throughout the day. So we are doing everything we can to keep voters and poll workers safe. So what do you need to do? If you think you're interested in doing this, you want to get involved in our democracy, you want to earn some extra money, you want to get some of those community service hours, especially if you need them to graduate, the first thing that we're going to do is ask everyone in the classroom to complete a voter registration card. Okay? Your teacher has copies of those. They'll pass them out in just a minute. We'll fill those out together. Even if you're 17 years old, we're going to fill those out. If you're 17, once you turn 18, that registration rolls over and becomes active. If you're 18 and you fill this out, you're good to go. You can vote. Furthermore, we need you to fill out a Youth at the Booth application. Okay, that's the second bullet point here, and your teacher will pass that out at the end of this presentation to anyone who's interested in the program. On that, we ask for a parent signature, a faculty signature, your signature, and the full Social Security. That's so we can make sure you're okay missing a day of school, because Election Day is on a Tuesday, and the full Social Security is needed so that we can cut you a check. We need to have all 9 digits of that. Like I said, there's going to be 3 to 4 hours of training here at the Board of Elections in Norwood. We do those classes all the time. Now, they happen on weekends, they happen on evenings, because we know you all have a busy schedule. You've got football practice or play rehearsals or anything like that, so we'll work with your schedule. Like I said, we've got that Monday night setup and then Election Day work. And finally, our last bullet point here, if you'd like, we would love you to use hashtag Youth at the Booth across social media platforms. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook. Pretty much the only thing we're not on is TikTok, because I think that'd be a little awkward. But if you use that hashtag, we'll find that, we'll repost the appropriate messages. All right? Coming up here is going to be filling out the voter registration forms. I'm going to turn that over to my colleague, Joe. He'll take care of that. Thanks, everyone.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joe Ventry. I'm one of the recruiters for the Hamilton County Board of Elections. I'm going to help you guys fill out your voter registration sheet. So first thing you're going to want to do, where you see I am, you're going to check the registering as an Ohio voter. After that, you're going to go down to the one right under it and fill out 1, but we're not going to fill out 2 because you guys are technically 17 years old at the time, but you will be 18 when it comes time to vote. So what this is going to do is farther down, we're going to put in your birthday. When it comes back to us, we're going to put that into the system, and you'll go up in our system as a 17-year-old voter. And once you turn 18, it'll just put you right in as a voter in Hamilton County. So after you guys do that, you're going to go ahead and fill out number 3, which is last name, first name, middle initial or name, along with the junior if you have any. And after you're done with that, we're going to go down to number 4. So you're going to put in your full address along with apartment or lot number, the city that you live in, and the zip code. Number 7 is only if you have a mailing address, as in a P.O. box or something like that. Number 8, that is for the county that you live in, Hamilton County. Don't put, that doesn't say country, so don't put USA. At number 9, we're going to go ahead and put in our birthday along with number 10. So number 10 is asking for your driver's license or the last 4 digits of your social security number. This is important. You can't leave it blank. A lot of us, I didn't know it when I was in high school. So if you don't know it, or if you need time to fill this out, we will not be able to put anything in if we don't have 10 filled out. So if you need some time to go get your driver's license out of your car, or call your parents and ask them what your social security number is, or anything along that line, that's fine. Don't turn this in until you have number 10 filled out, because we won't be able to do anything with it, unfortunately. After that, you're just going to go straight down to the bottom where you see the date along with your signature, and just fill out today's date along with the signature, and you'll be good to go. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Okay, please make sure you complete all your paperwork. Fill out your voter registration card completely and a youth at the booth application completely. And please, kids, make sure you have your social security numbers on there because you can't get paid if we don't have your social. And just for the record, always have your social on you and try to memorize those numbers because it's very important. Once you get the signatures from your parents and teachers, they will be in contact with us here at the Board of Elections. And then in turn, we will be in contact with you. You will receive a call from Angie or Raquel, depending on if you're Republican or Democrat. And please answer these ladies' calls. Don't ghost them. Don't ghost us because it's very important to us, to the whole county, and we're going to need workers. So they're going to call you to set up your class times, set up where you're going to be working at. Okay, and you have to take the class. It's a simple class. You have to pass a test, an 18-question test. I've taken it now 3 times. I only got one answer wrong. It's quite simple. Okay, take the test. You have to be here for a Monday night setup. You'll learn all about this in the class, but you have to be present for the Monday night setup and then all day election day. And I cannot stress enough, do not ghost us, please. If you don't want to work, just tell us you don't want to work, just answer the phone, send a text back. And it's cool, we'll keep it moving. Okay, and finally, the high school that has the most students, we throw you a pizza party. And so tell your friends, because it's a good opportunity. Like I said, you get a day out of school. Most of you need community service hours, so you get community service hours, you get paid, and you're part of the election process. It'll probably be the biggest election most of us will see in our lifetime. So please, just do what you gotta do. Thank you.
All right, so that's basically it. We wanted to come out to your school to show you what voting looks like here in Hamilton County, to get you registered to vote, and hopefully get you involved in the democratic process by working the polls. Everyone sitting in this classroom is the future of our country. You all are the next generation of voices, and we really need to start using them. I'm going to jump back over to the slideshow very briefly to show our contact information. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, ask your teachers to reach out to us. We're more than happy to answer any questions. Thank you so much for your time, and please consider serving your democracy. Thanks.